Welcome, thanks for stopping by. It's time to learn with our friend Clive. So grab your brush, have a great time.
Hello and welcome back to the studio. Today I'm doing something very special. David McGree is a member of the Clive 5 Art family. If you want to know how you can get along to that Facebook group, please go to the descriptions below or enter this in your search bar. And he is giving me permission to paint one of his photographs, which is really nice. So without further ado, let's just get straight on to the canvas. I got my standard 16 by 12 panel. It's a canvas board. I've done a liberty of doing a quick sketch, and I put a gesso over that sketch just to lock it in place. All the colours you're going to need are coming up on the screen, but there are a few more colours than normal, and a selection of brushes which I'll go through shortly. And so let's paint away the stress of everyday life here in Wales, and let's get straight on to this painting. Got a couple of brushes. I've got a small Filbert brush number 6. I've got a 1.5 inch short flat. I've got a few of them. I got a little detail brush number 1 and a detail brush number 4. I'm going to put those there. I've got a couple of each of those. I'm going straight into a number. What kind of? And I got to go into a number 4 detail brush, and I'm going to get a little bit of my medium mix there. If you've painted with me before, you know that allows me to thin down my paints as much as I like, and that is available on the website www.clive5art.co.uk. I'm going to go into a little bit of a thinner mix, and I'm going to actually add a little bit of burnt umber to my black. There you go. And a little bit of Prussian Blue. A nice dark bluey black browny colour. That's what I wanted. It doesn't really matter. Use your initiative. I've got a little bit of liquid clear there, which I might use during the process. I'm going to be doing some more lessons on using that stuff, and that is available on www.clive5art.co.uk, as I've said, and only there. Yes, it is my actual product, and it's only available on the website for those who are going to ask. As you can see, I've got my iPhone set up. I'm using David McGree's photograph, and he has said this is my original photograph, happy for it to be used. It's called The Tear, and that's available on the Clive 5 Art family page. And I'm just going to zoom up the eye, and I'm going to work from that, like that today. So just going in, I'm looking at my eye and my reference photograph, and I'm just going to go in and I'm going to put my darks in first. There we go, and we're gonna put the darks in first. This is a lovely colour. There you go, and we're gonna come down there like that, and that comes around. Let's have a look at this. We've got a bit of a pupil in there as well. Let's just establish this eye. There we go. And I asked the family members if there was anything they wanted painting this year, and also if there was anything they wanted me to paint this year. So I thought, well, it would be nice if I give it a little bit back as well, and done something that they requested. And this is a lovely, fantastic image, and I'm sure David wouldn't mind you using this image if you wanted to paint it and sell it. I don't know. You need to contact David through the Clive 5 Art family page, just for his authority. As you know, with copyright, then it's important that we make sure that the originator of the photograph or the painting has given us their permission to use it. And as you've seen there, I've actually had permission to use it, so we can do this as a lesson. There we go. And I've got a dust coming down. That's coming down there like that. There we go. Right, let's get a little bit of blue. I get a little bit of Prussian blue straight into my brush. There we go, a little bit of Prussian blue. I'm going to put this in quite dark at the moment. I'm just looking at my reference. That's going to go in there like that. I can lighten that up in a second. This is more of a pop art style painting. It really is. You can put this painting considerably thicker if you wanted to. But I'm just going to look at this eye here and see exactly what we got going on. And it's just one of those pop art style images that have been done on something like Photoshop. There you go. I'm going to get a little bit of white just on the tip of that brush. I'm just going to lighten this colour in onto the canvas rather than trying to mix the colour there, that way that we can get that little bit of a more of a blending mix colour going on. Blending of a mix. Yes, we can play around with different values on the canvas rather than try and mix them and paint them on. And that's fun sometimes. If you can do that, it just gives it that little bit more of a twist when you're painting. There we go. Looking at this, it's got a little bit of red. Now I've got a couple of different reds there, and I've got orange as well. I haven't mixed an orange today because I wanted to use some of the tubes of orange paint that I've actually got, and I thought let's just use it up. Let's just add a little bit of red in there like that. Mix it in. Let it merge together. Don't be too worried about it getting a little bit darker, because this is going to be in shadow there anyway. There we are. Washing that brush very quickly and go straight into some black. Let's just darken this and thick. I'm adding a little bit black now to that mix that we made. I'm just going to darken this up a little bit more. There we go. I want to thicken this up now. Looking at that eye. I'm hoping I can get this done in a reasonable length of time. I'm hoping I can, but we don't know how long these paintings can take sometimes. I've been challenged quite a bit. I'm just going to get a little bit of white on the tip of that same brush, and I'm just going to put in the highlights on the eye. Just a little bit of grey there. We can brighten that up in a second. We've got a little bit of a spot there. Washing that brush, but I'm now picking up a short flat, not a short flat, it's a Filbert, sorry, number 6 Filbert. And I'm looking at my eye, and we need a bit of red. Let's get a bit of red out. Thin it down a touch. We don't want to thin it down too much. We don't want to thin it down too much. That red has gone a little bit thick in the tube by the looks of it. Take a little bit off, and let's see. Merging it like that. Let's get a little bit of blue to that. I'm going to mix a little bit of purple with that red. Get a touch of white to it, so we can just get a little bit of a purpley hue. A bit more white. Just play around with these colours. It's nice for me to be challenged as well. We got any more purple there? So look, we've got a nice light spot there. Let's lighten that right up. We've got a nice light spot down here, and that can come in there like that. If you don't like something, you don't have to paint exactly what you see. You can change it. That's the thing. Change it if you want to. There you go. I'm going to get a short flat. That's a half-inch short flat, and I'm going to get some yellow. I've never used this particular yellow before. This is a different manufacturer, and I'm I'd like to see that's quite bright, isn't it? It's quite a bright yellow. Let's pull in a bit of that red from there. Let's get a little bit of orange. Let's look at this painting. Let's get a little bit of orange going on. And just play with paint. These type of paintings that you can actually play with, and don't worry about mixing the paint on your brush and getting these effects. You can get these effects quite nicely. There you go. Just mix all this colour together. Get those edges to blend in. There we go. Let's get a little bit more yellow. It's quite yellow down here. Let's get this in place now. Let's just get this yellow there. Don't worry about the tear at the moment. We can build on that in a second. Let's just get this eye in place. A bit more yellow down. It's quite a nice bright colour. This is a good lesson to actually learn blending techniques. Get a little bit of red in there. Get some shape to this eye. Now it's quite dark. It's quite dark around this area, so let's just get a bit of that in there now. This is not about the face, it is more about the actual tear, because it's called the tear. So what we need to do is develop a little bit of feature and characteristics of the actual face, but we know it's an eye, we know it's a face. What we're going to try and do is develop that eye. We're concentrating on the eye rather than anything else. This is more of an abstract type of painting. It's about the colours, it's about the warmth, it's about the warmth of the subject, it's about focusing that on the eye. Let's just get a little bit of more depth over there. Let's just have a look at this. We got a little bit of, that's going to be the white area there, so we want to bring in a little bit of orange around here like that. Let's just put that brush one side. Let's get my detailing brush again. Just changing some kitchen roll over. Let's get this black there. Just put in a little bit of colour here and there and here. Just get a bit of red. Just plop it in this, all in like that. There you go. Let's go back into this orange now. So we got a nice orange area there. Before I do anything else, I'm going to bring a bit of white in, because we've got a little bit of white coming in this area. We just need to brighten that edge up. trying to do something as complicated as this with a little bit of, with the time I've got. It's not easy, but we'll get there. It'll work out, I'm sure. It'll work out, I'm sure. Get a bit more yellow in there. A bit of white. Just to sparkle that up a touch. We need to sparkle that up a bit more, don't we? Let's see if we can sparkle that up a bit more, just get a little bit of contrast in there. A bit of crimson. Crimson. There's a multitude of colours, just a multitude of colours. I'm just picking up another short flat. Just want to get some yellow on this now. That was a horrible short flat. Where's that done that? I don't know. I don't like that brush. We'll change that brush. Oops. And we'll chuck that one on the floor. Getting too old to bend down. We're going to have to dry this off in a second. But we'll just get the bones of this in now. Just want to put colour over colour. And we got, this is going to come down around there like that. Let's just get some of this. Let's get some crimson in down here now. Let's darken this edge off. Crimson is a nice, rich, red colour. I quite like crimson. Just bleed that in, scrubbing it in, using a scrubbing motion on a brush like that to get that effect that we are looking for. Bringing in a bit more crimson. We need to bring some crimson in down here now. Constantly look at your reference photograph, but use your imagination at the same time. So it's a bit of a contradiction in terms when you're using reference, but it doesn't pay to go off reference 100%. So if you see something and you think, oh, I can change that, change it. Change it. Let's bring a bit of yellow into this now. So look at that. Merge a colour. More yellow. Don't forget, we're going to dry this off in a second and we can start building up the second layers then. But for the moment, let's just get all this colour to merge together. And then we can darken off sections and lighten sections and as we want to. It's a good way, just going into a little bit of medium red now. Just bringing this in. You can see, hopefully you can see the side of the face is starting to develop. I hope you can. I hope for my sake. Who knows? I don't know. I certainly don't know. Going straight into some ordinary orange now. Just bringing a bit of that, bit of yellow. Just merging a bit of the yellow in and just letting the brush just do its own job. There we go. Just letting the brush do its own job. Now, let's get some white, because we've got to look at this. We've got some white coming in. There's the tear. build that bottom eyelid up in a second. A bit more white. And wash my brush. Just let that paint that's on the brush just come off the brush, and that's going to give us those little lightest and dark tone, mid-tones, and as the white paint just disappears off the brush, it's going to get darker, and this is what you want. You want to try and develop that. It's got a little bit of yellow, just develop that tier there. That's going to be coming in. There, okay, a bit more white, and let's concentrate. This is going to be roughly where the nose is going down there. This is just a block out. Let that paint mix. Don't worry about the brush. If you're not washing your brush, don't worry about that, because it's all adding to the flavour and the texture of the painting. This is about painting away the stress, allowing the brush, allowing your imagination, allowing the paint to do what it wants. My seat is squeaking. Allowing that to do what it wants to do. Put a little bit of colour back up in there. We'll put a bit of white up in there in a second. Let's have a look at this. We're just going to change that brush over. I'm going to go straight into some red and orange. Just going to mix these two colours together, and I'm just going to look into this area now, and I'm just going to build this area up like this, allowing the paint to move, merge, sit into that canvas texture, just letting the colours just blend together. We've got a little bit of a darker area down here, so we're just picking up a little bit of that black colour we got, just to give it a little bit of texture down there. And I'm going to pick up some alizarin crimson. I'm going to mix that in there, because we want that nice and red down there. That's representing the side of the nose, possibly. I don't know. That's what it looks like on my reference photograph, and if it looks that way, then that's what it is. Rinse in the brush very quickly, get in some kitchen roll, and we've nearly finished the first part, which is the block it out part. We're getting some yellow now. We're just merging that in there, and then we're going to get the hairdryer on this very quickly. Pulling the paint in to the red area, just pulling it in like that. Looking at it's all part and parcel of the same painting. There we go. It's all merging together now. Lovely. I can see it merging together lovely now. A little bit of white, a bit of yellow, and let's just get, this is that area there, so I'm just looking at this area down there. And again a bit more red and orange and yellow, mix it all in the brush, just merge that together. Just get a little bit of crimson, because we've got that's going to come over that way a little bit. Just get a little bit of colour in. So we need to sort that out now. Okay, so I'm going to dry that off with a hairdryer, and then I'm going to wash my brushes very quickly. Okay, so I've just washed my brushes and I've just dried that off with a hairdryer. Now I'm going to do a little trick that you should know if you have painted with me before. If you don't, then all you need to do is get some, I use my medium mix there, that it allows me to thin the paint as much as I want, and that is available, as I've said, on the website. So www.clive5art.co.uk. So I'm thinning down like water my yellow And I don't recommend you do that with just water, because there's a 45% rule and paint will flake. But if you've got some of my medium mix, then you can do this. If not, have a little try. You might be able to get away with it. I can't guarantee it if you just use plain water. And all I'm going to do then is just going to very lightly wash over the entire surface of my painting. I made it a little bit thicker. Some yellows are more transparent than others, and what that does, it just puts that lovely warmth, a nice warm glow over the entire surface of that painting there, like that. And I've got a couple of pencil lines showing through where I done my original sketch, but am I worried about that? No, because I think that adds to the actual painting as well. People can see that you've done the bones of the work, and it doesn't really matter whether they can see the paints, the pencil marks or not. That's never worried me in all the years that I've been painting. And in fact, it makes you look as if you're a human being and it hasn't been printed by a machine. And a lot of paintings these days are being done that way and are mass produced, so at least they can see that it's been painted by hand. That's my excuse. I'm sticking to it. Okay, so we'll just put a nice thin coat of glaze. You can call this a glaze. It's a wash basically, but you can call it a glaze if you want to. And all that does is just give it a nice warmth, and we can add a little bit more colour into the reds later on. We can darken those reds up, but I want this to look a nice warm glow. There we go. How is that? That looks a little bit more lifelike. I'm going to dry that off really well again with a hairdryer. It's important that we got a hairdryer in the studio because it does help. And you dry it by staying about 6 to 12 inches away, and it's dry when it's dry. And you should always check with the back of your hand. Getting a detail brush, again going into that black mix that we originally did the part of the eye with, and let's have a little, let's concentrate more on just actually strengthening that up now, because the yellow has gone in, and what it's done, it's actually subdued all the other colours there. So we need to just strengthen some of the colours up now where we need to. I'm just going into straight plain black just to go over this area like that. Following the reference that you've done. I'm just going to go through a little bit of blue just on the tip of that brush, just to blow down that black. The black is quite a harsh, it's quite a harsh colour, but we want a little bit of blue there to come through. We have a lot of oranges in this painting, so it's important that we have a little bit of blue in there as a little bit of a complement. There we go. And then just looking at my reference, and that's coming, a bit of a shadow coming down like that. And that's coming down underneath there, like that. There's a little bit of a line there. And just put these little detail lines in now if we wanted to. And then we can put a little bit of a line there. And just a little line just underneath there like that. And we're looking at this. And we got a little bit of a black line there like that. And then just a few little wiggly lines like that. I'm going to wash that brush very quickly. I'm going to change my kitchen roll in a minute. And what do we use? We used blue, didn't we? We used Prussian Blue. Let's get a little bit of white to that Prussian Blue. There we go. I just want to lighten this blue up now a bit more. I'm going to bring a little bit more light on top of this blue like this, just to give it a little bit of colour in there like that. Just go straight into some Prussian Blue. Just going to mix that Prussian Blue straight into the brush, so it's automatically going to darken that for me. I just want to put a little bit of Prussian Blue. That's not dark enough. So in this case, I will wipe my brush and go in the back end of the Prussian Blue. This is neat Prussian Blue. Check in my reference photograph. I'm just going to put in a little bit of difference there, like that. There you go. Just a little bit of difference in there, like that. Just wiping my brush. We've got a bit of purple colour going on there. Let's add a little bit more red to that. A bit of blue. Got a bit of purple coming in there, like that. Bit of purple here and there. Wiping the brush. I got a little bit of crimson. This is quite a nice dark colour. I'm just gonna go in there like that. And how is this looking on camera? It's looking pretty good, I think. I hope it is. I hope it is. I'm wiping that brush, going into some yellow. We need to put a definite thing there. Let's get a little bit of orange now in there as well. Just flick it around like that. How does that look? Looks pretty good. Get some white, pure white on the tip of that brush. Pure white on the tip of that brush, and just bring in a bit of there. There you go. Bit of orange. Let's get some orange in that. A bit of red. Washing the brush. That white yellow. You got that white yellow. Maybe you want a bit more white than that yellow there, Clive. Mixing all this together. Bringing this tier together now. A bit more yellow. Just picking up all those colours. Bit of a shadow under there like that. There you go. Just get a little bit of black on this brush and just do that a little bit. Just like that. Get a short flat. I got this Filbert brush again. Just bringing and increasing this red a little bit more now. Dragging that down like that. Just concentrating a little bit, and when I concentrate, I do tend not to talk much. I get a little bit of yellow. I'm just using another filbert brush, short flat, sorry. I do tend to hum and whistle sometimes. I don't whistle because it's rude on camera, but you will hear me occasionally just I think it's my age. And I do a lot of that actually. It's quite disconcerting sometimes. Let's get some white and let's just build up a little bit of highlight here and there. I'm going to play around with our nose a touch. Let me just have a look on camera, see how it's looking. It's looking quite dark, that nose is, so we just need to lighten that up a touch. Just bring that in. Drag that in. You can see why that yellow is going to look nice now as in a second, so we just need to increase a little bit of yellow on this side now, just to bring those tones together a touch. A bit more yellow under there. There you go. There you go. And play with that tear in a second. And before we clean my brushes again, I'm just going to get my... Oh, I have to change my kitchen roll. I have to get my trusty brush. And let's have a look. Let's get some more yellow. Let's just get some more yellow. And a bit of moisture. Let's just go over that nose like that. That's just going to automatically lighten that down. And while we're at it, let's get a little bit of crimson there, and let's thin that down again with the medium mix, and we can darken up a section, you know, like that, and blend that in. Blend that in and bring that. Blend that in like that. To put a little bit of colour. Let's get a little bit of red just in there like that. How's that look? Looks a bit better, doesn't it? It does. Okay, so I need to change my kitchen roll. I need to dry this paint in, and I need to wash my brushes. I'll be back in a tick. Okay, so we've dried that off. Now I'm going to put just a little bit of a blue shadow, I think. Now just down the edge of this. Teardrop like that. Looking back at my camera, because I haven't got my monitor on today, and I'm just going to check the eye. There we go. Let's just get a little bit more. Let's get a little bit more yellow now into this teardrop, and then increasing the white a little bit. There you go. Now, are we looking? It's looking pretty good, I think. You can just about see that. We need to put nice big major white spot there, and maybe a little bit there like that. Maybe a little bit of a catch in there, a little bit there, a little bit there, like that. There you go. And that can be a bit white down in there as well. How does that look? Looks pretty good. And you can tighten this up. And if you like what you see today, then please subscribe. It's important that you subscribe because and then you get notifications. There's a little bell that you can click on, and it's notifications. And every time I upload a video, then you will be notified of that. Also, you can pop along to Patreon. That's a public funded site where you can pay as little as $1 a month to support me in my endeavours to bring some free lessons to the masses. And there's perks and things in there that you can have, and master classes and things like that. And don't ever be afraid to ask me for something, because I will help where I can. And as I said, I do these lessons for free. If you don't want to do that and you want to support me elsewhere, then please watch the videos, the advertising videos on the beginning, sometimes in the middle, and on the end of these videos. For that reason, I'll get a little bit of marketing revenue, and again, that all goes into the studio to bring these free lessons to you. So, and please like, comment, share, and subscribe on your Facebook and Twitter, Instagram, all those other accounts that you've got. That's going to help me grow. The more I grow, the more lessons I can do, and the more advanced lessons I'm going to be doing at some point during this year also. And thank you for painting away the stress of everyday life here with me in Wales. I've enjoyed your company immensely today, and it's always a pleasure having you here. And as I said, please share and subscribe. And if you know somebody that wants to learn to paint, then just put them in my direction. So all it remains me to say, thank you for painting away the stress of everyday life here in Wales. My name is Clive from clivesart.co.uk. Have a good day, a good week, a good month, a good year, because I don't know exactly when you're going to be watching it, as time is relative on YouTube. So I'll see you in the studio next time. Bye. Nice.
And don't forget to click subscribe. Visit clive5art.co.uk.